Well, welcome to the show, my next caller. Welcome to the show. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing good. So tell us about yourself and what you do.
Well, my name is Kurston Carter, and I'm a writer, actor, director, filmmaker, and I'm an author too, self-published author.
My goodness. So when did you start writing?
I've been writing since I was in elementary school. Started with like a little 4-page letter, writing horror films and everything. I started when I was very young.
And then when did you start acting and all that?
I started acting when I was in high school. I was like 14. I started with my own little TV show. My teacher had asked us to do like a TV show, and we pretty much I came out with the Love Doctor and everything, and that's when it progressed after
that. So you wrote your first book in 2014 called The Layers of Life. Tell us about that.
Yeah. Well, The Layers of Life is based on true events. It's pretty much about these two twins who experienced a lot of pain. They lose their mom at a young age. And, it's a drama book. It's like based on drama, but it's like very, very diverse. And then also you'll be able to understand what you're reading.
And so you said it's based on a true story. How did that come about?
Well, actually, it's based on true events. The events are it's part of my life and then part of other people's stories that they told me, and I pretty much combined them together and I put them all together and then I pushed it out there.
Oh, wow. Now that's something to do with, in 2014 writing this book and The Layers of Life. It just sounds so interesting. It sounds like an onion. You can peel it. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Man.
Like the reason why I came up with the name was because there's 3 layers of everybody, regardless of how you look at it. We're all connected. We're all one. We have the outer layer, which is what you see, like every day to your partner or whoever you see. It's the inner layer, which is your heart, what God sees. And it's the deep, dark secrets that people, that you or your skeleton in the closet that nobody wants to see or show.
Oh, wow. And it's true. We kind of hide ourselves underneath this layer of protection, if you will.
Yeah.
So you wrote your first book in 2014, and you've gotten, all this experience under your belt. Now you have 2 other books you're working on. If you could just tell us what those books are and explain to us why you would go from what you went from to this.
Well, The Layers of Life is based on HIV/AIDS awareness, and then the next book I'm working on is actually a book of poems that I have written over the years. It's about love, about God. It's about relationship, and hurt and pain that I went through in my life and everything. And then the third book that I'm working on is like a children's book.
Now that's interesting because I hear that children's books are a little bit more difficult to write than just a regular book. Is this true, in fact, for you?
No, actually, it doesn't really take me that long to write. Like I said, I've been writing since I was in elementary school. I pretty much expanded my vocabulary, you could say, and then I write different genres like all the time. But when it came down to kids, I used my own kids, and I saw it, and I pretty much wrote it in a day, and that was pretty much it.
Now, you said you used your own children. How did you use your own children to write this book? Was it their likes, their dislikes, or I mean, how simple was that?
It was very simple. It was like based on like how would a child will act when they go to school, or how would the child will act to interact with grown adults. And so I use that and I base it around that aspect.
Mm. Now I see here that you're incorporating short films into your entourage as well. How is that working for you?
Well, it's going very well. I just finished another short film like probably the end of last month, and it's based on a guy who wakes up like every time he looks at the clock, it's 3 o'clock. I can tell you because I'm finished. I'm about to push it out there, and it's based on a guy. Every time he looks at the clock, it's 3 o'clock, and he's like, "What the heck is going on? Like, am I standing still in time, or is time frozen?" But it's not. It's just like every time he looks around, it's 3 o'clock.
Oh my goodness, I couldn't take that. So what made you? I mean, I couldn't do it. What made you come up with such I mean, that's like a very off the wall idea.
Well, I came up with that because it actually happened in my life, and like every time I was doing all kind of stuff, and I was busy doing here, bringing my kids to school, or doing meetings, or meeting with people, setting up for another short film. Every time I got a chance to look at the clock, it was always 3 o'clock. Every time I got a chance to lay down, it was 3 o'clock, and I was like, "What the heck is that?" And it happened for like almost a week, like say 3 days. It was like always 3 o'clock, and I'm like, "What the heck?" So so I pretty much based it off of that.
That's freaky. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That would freak me out. No
yeah,
lie.
I was like, "What the heck is going on?" So.
Wow. Wow. So every time you did something, it turned out to be at 3 o'clock, and so that's the basis of this. Oh wow. Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
like I said, I'm finished with it, and I'm about to push it out next week, and you'll be able to see it on YouTube. If you go to my YouTube channel, it's Kurston Carter, like Kurston Carter, Carter, and you'll be able to see it. It's going to be called 3 o'clock.
Okay, so you have the short film, you have the books coming out, you have everything going on for you. I mean, you have so much going on. I don't understand how you're incorporating all of this into one big unit. How does that all tie in together? Tell me how you're doing that.
Well, like I said, I've been doing this for a long period of time, and after a while, like if you develop the gift, and it comes easier and easier and easier, and you get to know exactly. It's like, don't be afraid to make mistakes, because the mistakes that you make, then it makes you stronger for your next film, or your next project, or your next book, or whatever you're trying to do, your next modeling session or something, or your photo shoot, or your audition or something like that. So it's like you constantly improve yourself. And for me, I've been improving myself over the years, and just like my mind is like, "Oh, I gotta do this project. I gotta do this project. I gotta do this project. I'm finished with that one. Next, do this. Next." And I write my own project, so it's like once I finish one, it's next.
Wow. That's amazing, because that's a lot to do. That's a lot of dedication, a lot of hours, and a lot of creativity. What has been the biggest challenge that you've had doing all of these different aspects of the entertainment business all at once?
Well, it was more like based on getting the people together sometimes. Mostly it's based on like making sure like everybody's on the same page. Because if like everybody's not on the same page, it's like you're not gonna go nowhere. And then it's like, especially if the foundation is not stable enough, it'll fall, just like the Bible says and everything.
And your faith, I see that your faith is very much so involved in everything that you're doing and in everything you're saying. When you go forward from this moment on, what would be your goals?
My goal is to be able to not like most people in Bible dump somebody or something like that. It's just me, like I'm a follower of Christ. I don't like to use the title of Christian because it's like Christianity is a religion. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm more spiritual, and then being as that is that just be able to witness to people whenever they need help and whatever God tells me to do.
Mhm. That's very interesting. Wow, very interesting indeed. So when can we expect this short film? Where can we get it? Where can we get your books?
My book, you could go on you could go on it's the Layers of Life, layers of life/KurstonCarter.com, and you could be able to get the first book. The second book and the third book is not being pushed out yet. I just been able to get the cover finished for the second book, and I'm about to get ready to push that out pretty soon. And then also the short film, like I said, you could go to Kurston Carter, Kurston Carter Carter at on YouTube, and you'll be able to see it there.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you for being on the show. Is there any advice
thank you
that
so
you
very
could give
much.
to someone? Thank you. Is there any advice that you can give to someone who's doing so many wonderful things in their career and they're just doing everything that they can possibly do? What would be the biggest thing that you think would hinder them from moving forward?
Well, the biggest thing that will hinder anybody is yourself. And then, see, the thing is, like, whenever you have yourself stopping you or listening to negativity, always stay away from negativity people, because even if it's family, it doesn't matter who they are. Is family be the worst ones, because they're the most critics. But the number one thing is yourself, because you can sit there and say, "Oh, I'm gonna do it," and then next thing you know, they come a little stumbling block. You're like, "Oh, I can't think of no other solution." Always find a solution. Always push forward. Doesn't matter what it is, how it goes. Always find something. Always pray and ask God to help you, to give you a solution, because that's what God does anyway. He gives us solution. He don't give us the actual thing. He gives us solutions to be able to push forward and make it last longer, instead of just like this quick fix and everything like that. And
that
never
is a
give
wonderful
up.
piece. Definitely. Thank you so much again for being on the show, and thank you so much for bringing your talent. I mean, just everything that you do. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, when you get your updates, you're gonna have to come back on the show.
Oh yeah, I know. I will.
One thing that can hinder you is you. He's right. The one thing that can hinder anybody is yourself. If you're not doing it, if you're not going for the gusto, if you're not doing what you say you're going to do, then obviously you're hindering yourself. And the biggest thing that you can do is hinder yourself. I think that's one of the biggest faults that we all have is procrastination. And we shouldn't be doing that. We should move forward and continue to press for that goal. So if you need to get in touch with Kurston, you can get him at Kurston Carter.wix.com/writer-actor. And definitely get in touch with him. He has his books out, The Layers of Life. And if you didn't hear where to go and contact him, just rewind this show and you'll be able to listen to everything and get in contact with him. I'm definitely excited for him, and we want nothing but the best for him right at Dream Chasers.